Right then, boys, a quick vlog. I wasn't going to bother, but a few things going on in my mind today, you know, while I've been in work. I wasn't going to do anything about the Scarlets games as of yet. I didn't feel ready to, because it's something much closer to my heart than Wales. And I didn't want to come, you know, I wanted it to be right, but I'm gonna say sort of what's been going on the last week or two anyway. Basically, right, we'll start with Saturday afternoon. I haven't been to a Scarlets game for a long time live at the ground. I've been working away, lots of things I've got in the way, and so Saturday was a big sort of, when I arrived, there was a bit of a shiver going back to Park of Scarlets to watch a game. It was nice. It was an afternoon game. Munster were in town, and it was all set up. Even though it's, you know, Scarlets Munster, right? It's a big game, but really, you know, it's two reserve teams, isn't it? Let's call it for what it is. You know, that game should be massive, shouldn't it? Two full teams. But the way the league is structured, even though it's not an international game on, the international teams still won't release players. So you end up with a bit of a farce, really, as to what it should be marketed as, and what it could be. A Scarlets Munster game, or an Ospreys Munster game, Ospreys Leinster game, or any of these games. They could be a lot bigger than what they are, and they're not. Because international rugby wants its fingers in all the pies, basically, and it's destroying the. I'm not going to go into this, right? I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so yeah, I mean the game Saturday, I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It was full on. Munster, to their credit, you know, as usual, what to expect from a Munster team. You know, let's concentrate on the positives of what they bring to this league. I thought their number 7 in the first half, he carried very, very well. He was injured. I think it was the second half he got injured, so I hope he's alright. I hope it isn't something too serious. And there was a few injuries there. I thought, oh, alright, you know, there was no holds barred, and so on both sides I hope all the lads are alright that went off. It didn't seem too serious, but you know, fair play to them, they deserve a mention, I thought. Right then, I mean, we'll I wasn't going to mention anything about this game. I was going to wait till the right time where there was a bit of a bigger game to start vlogging about the Scarlets, but there's been such a fallout. I thought, well, I've got to say something, because otherwise all this rubbish gets stuck to us, and nothing gets said back. Here's my chance to say something back, and a little bit of realism to hit. I mean, the game, right? Munster was stubborn. Scarlets were standing there, and they were giving just as good as what they were getting, and it was a great game. But there was a lot of instances where, and it happened 3 times in the first half, where Munster left winger, after the ball has been passed right, he's up against the touchline, the ruck is. After the ball has been passed right, he goes past the ruck by about 3 or 4 metres, grabs hold of, one time it was a winger, the other time it was a scrum half. He grabs our scrum half and starts having a bit of a wrestle with them, right? And you say, obviously, you know, the player is being held and tugged, shirt tugged or whatever, and so he reacts a bit, and they have a bit of a, yeah, what's going on? Hey, get off me, sort of thing, like, huh? While that's happening, it's a ply. Munster kick to that touchline, and our winger or scrum half isn't covering back because he's being held. and he's been dragged into, or he's been pinned into a scuffle. And it was blatant all afternoon, and about 3 times they did it. The touch judge didn't want to know. The stamp, right? The yellow card for the stamp, okay? Alright. I am sure, right? There is no way on this earth that if that was in Thomond Park and a Welsh player had done that, he would not have seen yellow for it. It would have been red. It would have been red. Now, I'm not saying I think it's red. What I'm saying is, the rule of thumb in this league has not been, and to be honest with you, it's normally, alright, if it's a yellow card, normally though then, they get cited. And my case in point is something far less dangerous. Jake Ball went into a ruck, deemed to have led with his head. It was touch and go. He was yellow carded for it, okay? And then he gets a ban on top. Now let's rewind to last week's game. Connaught, we still haven't heard anything about Connaught with Muldoon, right? Not just about the stamp. He was yellow carded for a stamp last week, right? Okay? But before he goes off, he actually tells the referee to his face that he's not refereeing the game properly, and that if he carries on like that they're gonna stamp. You can't do that in the game of rugby union. You cannot do that. You can't. So don't come on since all is followed, right? Well, what's happened is basically the referee down on Saturday, right, has had a shocker. He's missed BJ Botha not binding correctly all game. He's missed BJ Botha was binding on the arm all game illegally, right? He was getting screwed all game, especially in the second half when Rob Evans came on. He destroyed him, right? We were winning scrums against the head, and he was given a penalty to the other side. It was ridiculous, right? Now, for Saturday, I decided to go in the south stand. And if anybody, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's been a bit of a thing about Scarlets fans booing, right? That south stand, which is the stand that was booing at the end of the game, right? I was in that stand, I could see why they were booing, right? Now, there's so many ironies about this, right? So many ironies. I don't think Irish rugby does self-awareness. I really don't think it does self-awareness, right? Because, right, for a start, right, don't make out that Ulster, Munster, Leinster, and all them. Right then. Yeah, don't make out to me, right, when we go out to Ulster, we've all seen it. We've seen it at Lansdowne Road. We've seen it at the Aviva. We've seen it at Thomond Park. As soon as the decision doesn't go their way, they boo like hell, just like the rest of us, right? So don't be precious now. Once again, right, the things that have come back after, just because the Scarlets fans booed. Now, there was a reason why they booed. That stand is the most reserved, half asleep. You got to check, you know, they got mirrors under their nostrils in that stand half the time, because you never hear them. So for them to be booing like they were, there must have been something, you know, there must have been something. Ask yourself. Now there's also an article by some guy, I don't know what paper, I forget what the paper was. I think it might have been a Telegraph, Daily Telegraph or something like that. Some Steve Ward, is it, or something like that? Now, and he had a go at Llanelli. I think the term he used was Llanelli men. The men of Llanelli not knowing that the ref was from Leinster and not Munster. Oh, pal, get off, will you? Come on now. Who number one, how do you know what the hell they were booing for? How do you know that's what they were booing about? And how do you know that clearly people aren't aware of where Dudley Phillips is from? We are well aware of where Dudley Phillips is from. So grow up and piss off, you pathetic little clown. Right? Okay? Because if you're having a go at Connecticut Town, I think you're biting off more than you can handle, pal. So piss off. That's the first thing out the way. Sorry to swear. Right then. You know, I got no regard. The thing is, people are saying, oh, sore losers. Hang on a minute, we didn't fucking lose. What are you on about? We drew. Right? And over the last 2 games, Scarlet fans have been moaning about this league and about the refs and stuff like that. We had a bonus point win last week, we're still moaning about the ref. What does that tell you? And this week now we've drawn. So over 2 games we've had 7 points, right? Which I'm happy with. I'm happy with that. I'm not happy. We could have won. That ref would have still been booed off the pitch. He was a disgrace. And the thing is, people are getting tired of it. They've been allowed to get away with this now for years. This league is dead. The Irish have killed it. And I don't mean Irish people or fans or so much their players. I'm on about the people in control of the league. And the problem is, see, Irish teams are being backed by their union. The Irish union, in fair play to them, they understand that you need 4 strong provinces for the game to be strong. But the Welsh Rugby Union don't get that, see? They couldn't give 2 shits about our regions. And there's where Welsh fans are getting frustrated, okay? It's not the thing against really Ireland, it's the frustration. I mean, you won't get a Welsh ref out in Ireland giving no sort of calls to a Welsh team. You won't get it, right? And this is why we're saying it's not the level playing field. Anyway, right. So, and that was the other thing. Have we heard anything from Muldoon's spat at the ref? Yeah? His little have a go at the ref about his standard of refereeing to his face. He's already getting a yellow card for a stamp. And he questions to the referee's face his ability to referee that game. To his face. As he's about to walk off for a yellow card. I'm sorry, come on now. Where are the organisers? Are they going to do something about this? Are they going to do anything about this? And this is where, you know, it's getting a farce. So, yeah, looking at the game. Oh, the wind's died down. Looking at the game. I thought both sides, it was an entertaining game. It was full on, like I've already said. I like the way Connecticut are looking. And the Wayne Pivac, I like what he's starting to do and what he's starting to implement. He's slowly addressing a lot of the problems that Connecticut rugby has had and has refused to, or just never got to grips with even trying to sort out. 1 is defence, 2 is the breakdown and the competition. You know, in fairness, that game against Munster a couple of years ago, we'd got hammered in that game without the full side out, right? So, no, it's pleasing. I'm happy with that. It was lovely to get back as well. And to see some old faces as well. So, right. Yeah, it was lovely to get back and see some old faces I haven't seen in a long time. I tell you what, boys, once this tide comes in, feels like we're going to have a big one. That was the other bit of good news we've had this week, innit? DTH, Van der Merhew, with it, however you say it. He signed from Glasgow Warriors to play for the Scarlets next season. Good on you, pal. I tell you what, there is one player, whenever I've seen him play for Glasgow against the Scarlets, and he's got the ball in his hand, I've always been worried. So that's that's a sign of a good player there. When you're terrified when he's got the ball, when he's playing against your team, that's a sign that he's a good player. He's always got you like, oh, this guy can score from here or create a break from nothing. He's strong, he's quick, he's a great player. And this is one of the other things as well. I've been looking on the forums and stuff like that. The Glasgow reaction says it all, that they're extremely upset about him leaving. Apparently why if he's leaving, why has he come to us? And I did take a bit of offence to the tone they were taking about my town, my rugby side. Glasgow, they've come top 4 recently, but traditionally, do they not know anything about Connaught Rugby Football Club? Rugby didn't start in the year 2000, mind, and that goes to the Irish fans as well. They weren't around when Leinster were playing at Donnybrook in front of 1,000 fans, right? You know what I mean? This rugby club where I support, 1884. 1884 it was established, alright? So, you know what I mean? People say, oh, you're nothing, alright, yeah, we've had a bit of a tough time over the last couple of years, but we're an established rugby club, known the world over. So, that was a bit offensive. I thought that was a bit derogatory. The way that, and also they did mention, why would he leave Glasgow for Connaught? Yeah, right. Yeah, and I know it's actually not the best place in the world to live, and the weather can be pretty shit. But I'm damn sure it's better than fucking Glasgow. I'll tell that now. So I laughed at that. Obviously, whoever said it hasn't been to the Gower Peninsula before, hasn't been down the West Wales coastline before. Oh, right. I mean, we are actually having a Hilton hotel built in Connaught as well, so maybe Glasgow's got one, I don't know, but we have. Right, anyway, sorry to be a bit cheery. I know, I'm just letting it all out a bit now as well, see, so it, and that's why I didn't want, over the last couple of weeks now, these things have been cooking along. As regards the Scarlets, yeah, go back to the Scarlets, we're looking really good. Now then, here's a debate though, see? Because there's one player now lately, he's really starting to shine, and that's Stephen Shingler. He's coming in at 10 now, obviously. We all know Rhys Priestland is leaving at the end of the season to go and play for Bath. And good on you, pal. Wish you all the very best. I can't blame you for leaving after the way the Wales fans booed you. It was absolutely disgusting. And I support you, and I hope one day you will come back in a Scarlet shirt. But you leave. Every Scarlet fan appreciates the years you've given Rhys to the Scarlet shirt. But moving on from that, obviously, Stephen Shingler he's taking a claim, isn't he? He is really looking the part the last few weeks. He looks like we could use him as one of the outside halves that he's dependable. He's got a bit of flair about him, and his kicking is good. Now then, when the internationals come back now, see, that poses a bit of a selection thing then. Now for me, I know this is my personal opinion now, I think, now if we cast our minds back, a lot of the rugby Rhys Priestland played for the Scarlets, some of his best football was played at fullback when Stephen Jones was 10. Now, I think there's a possibility here we could, because our wings are a bit sort of, I don't know, they're a bit flaky at the moment. They're not really producing the goods for me in defence or attack. So there's an option there maybe to put Rhys at 15, move Liam Sanjay Williams out to the wing, where he's playing well for Wales. Just for the time being, just till the end of the season, I think. Because I think that's a stronger backline. And the other wing spot then obviously is between Harry Robinson and Tadji, right? Thackenbow. But yeah, that, you know, I'd like to put that out there. If you think I'm wrong, then you know what I mean, message me, call me names. But I don't really care. But yeah, it was all quite funny. You know, of all the things to have fallen out of what happened on Saturday from the Scarlets Munster game, I didn't expect the Scarlets fans booing at the end of the game to be the main talking point from the Munster fans. I mean, you know, they did well. The ref, I felt he did hand it to them on a plate, but they had to still dig in. They worked hard for that draw. I'll take nothing away from them. They did work hard for the draw. So, and the possession in the second half was a bit more their way. So, you know, it's frustrating when you're winning a game and you allow a team to come back at you to snatch a late draw like that. It is frustrating. So, you know, please, Munster fans, you know, try and understand. Spur the moment, straight after the game. Emotions are high. We're passionate here about the game. That's all Connaught about. It's built on its rugby side. And when we see ourselves struggling over the years like we have done, there's going to be frustration, isn't there? You know what I mean? So, well done, Munster, anyway. And, you know, please, my Irish rants and all that, take them as they meant. It's a bit of tongue-in-cheek, some of it, right? So, but, yeah, we look ahead now. I think we go Ulster away next week. And then the next home game we got is Leinster at home. I'm hoping to do a bit more of a thing for that game. So, right. Yeah. I shall leave it there.